New year, new me, and of course, a new Citizencon. Welcome to an absolute rando's predictions for Citizencon 2955.
Game of this scope or this level that is 100% funded and backed by people that love this kind of game and want to play this game.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, it's okay, screw it! But we will be showing you this in the near future. So.
Upon receiving some most fair and just criticisms for my recent video, I have elected to produce this smaller work more heavy on actual narration. I worked under the assumption that nobody wanted to listen to my voice for 4.5 hours, so therefore I elected to do my approach. But seeing as that is apparently not the case, you now will not be able to make me shut up. I would also like to take a second to thank everybody for their absolutely lovely comments. I did not anticipate to get such a lovely response from people. I more expected to get insulted and derided, which is kind of disappointing. No, please don't. But we will begin with the likely tier. Starting off in the simplest terms, straight to flyable ships. This year's flagship, pun intended, is going to be the RSI Perseus.
Obviously.
The greatest ship in Star Citizen, the Buzzsaw Dorito, the unbeatable Star Destroyer. It will be the best ship Star Citizen has ever had. And as we all of course know, Perseus enthusiasts are the most stable and correct bunch of the lot.
You so fucking precious when you smile.
We will of course also see the currently unreleased ships that we saw in previous Citizencons, like the rather odd, probably Drake contraption, and in this vein, some other form of white box, grey box, or even Lot Zero reveal. Everything that is shown to us is intended to be released within the next year. Like that is gonna happen. I don't think I need to elaborate on this point, do I? Genesis appears to be teased in the most recent update, so we may soon get updates to most, if not all, the planets and moons to add more depth both with biomes and more places of interest. And what would all these wonderful places be without somewhere nice for us to dig in and live? Base building is a key component promised to us for about as long as the game has existed. This feature, in my mind, is critical to the longevity and fun of the game. Although if we will get to use the base building system is yet to be seen, as we were already supposed to have some form of base building at this stage, but this has otherwise been delayed. I do not believe we'll get a playtest of this feature, but I think we may see a lighter form of base building brought into the game, like the Star Citizen equivalent of a dirt shack. I believe we may get a playtest for the end of the year, though I don't think we'll be seeing our beloved Delamar until Genesis is fully online. I've always considered it an easy win for CIG, as Nyx is practically just a bunch of pirates, asteroids and space stations. With the special spice of Vanduul raids, this system will probably be a miner's paradise and also a fantastic place for PvE encounters. Nyx offers something that is perfectly between Stanton and Pyro, being lawless but not too lawless, violent but not too violent, with a form of stable civilization which can be found at Delamar. Engineering and crafting. These two systems go hand in hand, so I will bunch them together. Like the 2023 segment Living on the Edge said, it signifies how important crafting and engineering will be to survive, especially in places like Pyro. These two systems will also be vital for base building especially, but are also an important step in balancing ship combat. I've personally never really kept track as to what Vulkan actually is, so I asked an AI to explain it for me, so hopefully it is correct. Star Citizen's Vulkan implementation is an ongoing graphics technology upgrade designed to improve performance by reducing CPU bottlenecks and enabling more efficient GPU utilization. It is supposed to replace DirectX 11 and perhaps tell me why my dad never came back. The focus on game performance has paid off during 2024, and Vulkan might become a perfect addition to this new focus for CIG. Kicking off with a possible tier, we will begin with weather effects. Weather is a long-awaited feature in Star Citizen, and having it finally be added is amazing. And it looks fantastic, and it adds so much atmosphere, and seeing what they're going to do with it in the future will be a marvel to behold. But there are of course problems with the weather, like a modern spacecraft just suddenly vanishing from getting struck by something as trivial as lightning. However, we must suspend our disbelief a little bit to allow certain areas to not be accessed by ships, because the ships will then inherently ruin the gameplay by just having every battle solved by shooting you from the air. I do hope though that we will see other weather effects like the sandstorm from 2016 in the game soon enough. A new inventory would be nice, which has been previously teased during this year, and also because the current one is dog shit. Would you like to play with your friends in this here MMO game? I think not. We don't do that here. No, go away. Star Citizen is in desperate need for any and all things that helps you play with your friends. It has been lacking for so long, and the game, although being supposedly an MMO, everything is geared towards playing all by yourself constantly. Even mission rewards are split in half, which disincentivizes playing missions together, which is completely insane and beats the entire point of the game. They need to add this now. Global illumination is important because light is beautiful. ArcCorp is one of the coolest locations in Star Citizen. It has been screaming for attention, screaming for content, and hopefully we will see some progress on the instance locations in the ArcCorp sewers. CIG is hinting on further work expanding the universe, especially around Stanton, seeing as they've added locations such as ASD and the big old worm boss. I hope that they continue to pivot in this direction so that we can finally get back our precious Crusader platforms that I sorely miss. If we're lucky, I believe that we may actually see a demo of dynamic server meshing in action, though I do believe also at the same time that it'll be very short and sweet. Perhaps a short segment on the improvement of the AI, which shows that they have indeed improved the AI. If we will actually see this in game though, remains to be seen. Maelstrom is tied to engineering and armor, and perhaps we will get more demos displaying the improvements to Maelstrom. Maelstrom is important because it significantly aims to improve the way we do damage to ships, like penetrating armor to damage components to disable a ship. Gone will be the days of always exploding ships, offering more nuance to combat. At the same time, Maelstrom will also add destruction to objects around the world like buildings, which harkens back to the days of Battlefield Bad Company. Of course, now that they've actually programmed the bloody things, we're going to see worms, and more worms. They will be absolutely everywhere in the future, and they're probably going to show us some more, like the Jungly Boy. Or maybe, if we're lucky, even the California Boy.
Snag. I'm a snag.
Oh.
Snag.
Starting off the unlikely tier with a finished Pyro plan. Where are the solar flares? Where are the faction systems? Where are the consequences to my shitty actions in Pyro? So much of the flavour of Pyro is still somewhere missing in the void, and I fear that we will see nix before we see a finished Pyro. I haven't heard of the new Quantum Jump in a while, but I believe that it will arrive around the same time that we get the new Quantum Leap system. Just a tidbit I noticed recently while playing was that seemingly there are some musical updates in the game now, with better triggers and also new tracks. Why I put Starwear in unlikely tier is because I believe that the system is not yet ready to be implemented into the game properly. As they have added some of the armors that were supposed to be implemented with differing stats, I think that they will be adding Starwear by the time that we see armor stats roll in. Kicking off Why Bother tier with Stealth. Stealth is something that has been talked about in the game quite often, especially in terms of FPS. How many times have we not seen some poor bastard getting snuck up on from behind and then eventually getting stabbed in his neck? Stealth improvements will also probably come to the game in the form of ship stealth and other systems like that, but I would not be shocked if we saw another mission where somebody gets snuck up from behind and stabbed in the neck.
Bloody scream! So real!
After the pain that was the Second Life resource drive, I would very much love to see some cargo fixes in the game.
Like that's ever gonna happen. What a load.
I do not think they're going to let out Chris Roberts out of the cage again after the debacles of the previous years or decades where he has said so much stuff that has later proven to be factually untrue over and over again. He's not getting out of that cage. He's staying in. Or Mr. Roberts is being handed a pre-written speech where he cannot possibly screw it up. We begin Schizo tier with the Drake Kraken in Greybox. Much like the Polaris before it, we will see a little showcase going through the entirety of the Kraken as it is now. CIG apologizes for missed deadlines.
Like that's ever gonna happen. What a load.
The Vanduul are revealed as a new enemy type to be released with Nyx. They will be an enemy type that attacks all other enemies, pirates, civilians, military, or you. Updates to bounty hunting and maybe some improvements of the justice system could do us some good, but I do not think this is a priority for CIG whatsoever.
They took your squadron, man, you don't belong to them. They left me in a world of squadron, your sexy hands.
Despite Jared Huckabee's recent inflammatory statements, we will in fact see something from Squadron 42 this Citizencon. Be it a trailer, be it some gameplay, be it a teaser, we will see something.
No Squadron 42 presence at all. That's not a release date. That's not any of that stuff. No Squadron 42 presence. That's not a release date.
Well, I guess that's that. Thank you all very much for staying this long. Thank you all for watching, and if you don't mind, please subscribe. Maybe leave a mean comment. Maybe a decent comment. Maybe a nice one even. But again, thank you for watching.
如何来解决这个事儿？不管你想其他办法等，想其他办法我解决，我把钱打进去了再说。你需要解释的，需要啷个的，才再来解释。需要啷个的，是不是吧？好的。